Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and welcome to another episode of Coaching Conversations. And I wanted to make you aware of something very cool that we're doing on a subscription basis, and we'll put a link in each one of our episodes. But every Wednesday, we're going to be doing what we call an audio podcast workshop. That workshop will be roughly about 14 to maybe 20 minutes per episode, with each month having a theme from a coaching model, to using feedback strategically, to coaching self-awareness, and so on. So if you could look in the body or in the content description of each episode, and you will see a link where you can join this subscription. These are literally 4 workshops every month teaching specific strategies to address a particular area of workplace coaching as it relates, again, to things like awareness, motivation, teamwork, and what have you. Here's the cool thing. It's only $10 per month, and each month you will get a handout that we will follow along with. So we also give you a tool for you to take notes as we go through each episode. I hope you'll check it out. When you hear the term workplace conversation navigation, it's a mouthful. So when you think about workplace conversation navigation, it really is what leaders go through every single day. Somebody knocks on the door and says, "Boss, do you have a second?" It's never a second. It's about 19 to 25 minutes. And it's specific. And it's something that somebody needs from the leader. That typically happens with leaders, sometimes 2, 3, even upwards of 4 or 5 times a day. Now, that also does not include what leaders have to go through in terms of leading meetings, getting information to their bosses. So when you talk about workplace conversation navigation, there's a couple things that come into play. Readiness. Are you ready to have that conversation? Number 2, are you emotionally ready? Number 3, asking questions of clarity so you don't give quick responses or answers that could, quite frankly, create countering measures. So again, we have readiness, emotional readiness, and questions. Now, there's more than this, but this is the framework we encourage leaders to adopt. When somebody says, "Boss, do you have a second?" The minute that question is answered with, yeah, sure, go ahead, and you look down at your papers, you look at your computer, you're looking at your phone, and you're not ready, you have sent a message. The leader has sent a message, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It does not matter if that's not the intention. What happens is that the mind of the employee starts to run really fast, I might add. So we have to be ready. So when someone says, "Do you have a second?" you could ask a question such as, "I would love to chat with you. Give me some context to what you want to talk about. I want to make sure I give you ample time." That is a wonderfully defining moment, because what you're really saying to an employee is, "You deserve my full attention." And if the person says, "Well, there was a promotion on the board and I want to talk about if I should go after it." And if you're not emotionally ready and your first reaction is, "How dare you? I just promoted you 6 months ago," you're probably not ready to have that conversation. Versus saying, "Oh, that's awesome. I've been waiting for you to do that. Yeah, let's spend some time. I'll give you about 15 minutes. And oh, by the way, if we need more time later on, let's schedule it. But I'll give you about 15 minutes right now. Is that cool?" What we tend to do is rhetorically say, "Oh, sure. Yeah, come on in." And we're not fully ready. We're not emotionally ready. I cannot tell you how many times I've had employees come to me and say, "It's like my boss doesn't care. I went in to talk to him," and they start to describe this very important issue to them. I always ask the employees one question. How did the leader know this was really important to you? Do you know they never answer that? They always say, "Well, he or she should, because, they emotionally react as well." And if you have someone who's got a really important issue, like, "I'm not getting along with XYZ," or "I don't want to work this holiday," or "I went for this promotion, I didn't get it," or "I want to go for this promotion," that is of vital, vital importance to the employee. So if the leader, unbeknownst to he or she, demonstrates a lack of emotional readiness, does not ask clarifying questions, what we've created is a contradiction in motion. We've created a challenge between the leader and the employee. So we have to be ready, and this takes practice. Workplace coaching navigation is vital. Now, I just gave you an example of when we're in a reactive state, someone knocking on the door. We also need to do it proactively when we schedule time with our people. If I come out of a meeting and I'm frustrated and I'm about to coach someone who wants to do some career development, I've got to ask myself, am I ready? Am I emotionally invested in that employee? Am I ready to ask questions? If I can't answer yes to all three of those, I don't encourage rescheduling, yet there are times that rescheduling can serve the person being coached really well. Please look at different ways that you can improve your workplace conversation navigation. Thank you for listening to another episode of Coaching Conversations by Tim Hagen and Progress Coaching. Now, our company is always coming out with new and innovative solutions to help leaders coach their employees. And recently, we just created a new service called Coach to You, where leaders can pick and choose topics and assign 7 to 21-day programs for employees to learn and, more importantly, apply actions and then reflect and share what they're going to do going forward as a result of the learning. It's called Coach to You. We're literally bringing coaching to your employees. If you're intrigued, we'll have a link in each one of our episodes where you can get more information. And again, thank you so much for listening to another episode.